A family of ducks ventures out into the world for really the first time in the new animated film Migration. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my spoiler-free review for the new animated film Migration. This is from the Illumination people who brought us the Despicable Me series and the Lorax and a lot of movies over the years. But you can check this out now. And before we launch into the specifics of the movie and my thoughts on it, let me welcome you into Dan Reviews It. Thank you for finding this video. We do movie and TV reviews here, and always something new to check out. I try to post something just about every day, so always a lot going on here on the channel. So please consider subscribing, hit that notification bell, hit the like button, comment below. All that stuff, of course, helps the channel out. All right, so this is Migration. It features the voice work of Kumail Nanjiani and Danny DeVito, Elizabeth Banks. There's a lot of people that you will know here. Keegan-Michael Key, Awkwafina, yet again. We have her doing an animated voice, getting real sick of that. But Carol Kane here as well. So a lot of talent that you will recognize. And the director here is Benjamin Renner, who I was unfamiliar with. I looked up his filmography. The only thing he's done that I've heard of is a movie called Ernest and Celestine, I believe it's called, and that was nominated for an animated film Oscar in 2012. It lost to Frozen because what wouldn't? But I never did see it. I heard it was good, but that's all I really know about this dude. Now, Illumination, we know about them, and their, movies for me have been with dwindling results lately. I can't really stand the Minions. I think they're horrible. They keep trotting out Minions movies, Despicable Me movies. Despicable Me movies are okay because there's more to focus on, but the Minions movies are not good in my opinion. I know people love them. I find them brutally annoying, and this movie starts off with a Minions short. So right away, I'm like, oh god, this crap. And then they are the face of this company, the Illumination company. So in every movie, they are up front and center for the logo, singing the Illumination logo. So every one of their movies starts with the Minions, which kind of puts me off right away. But we won't focus on that. So this movie is about these ducks, this family of mallards who has not really ventured out into the world very much. The father, who is played by Kumail Nanjiani, Mac Mallard, is anxious. He's afraid. He does not want to explore. But they meet a family of migrating birds that are going to Jamaica, and the family urges him, "Can we go? Can we go? Let's migrate. Let's get out of here." And the uncle, played by Danny DeVito, Uncle Dan. So we love that name for him. But he is also kind of stuck in his ways and does not want to go, but agrees to for the kids' sake. And so they all go, and adventure awaits. They meet these, other birds along the way, and well, that's it. I'm not going to go into the plot any more than that. I think we can kind of guess what happens. They meet some peril, and whatever. So Awkwafina luckily is not in this too long. I mean, she is just killing me on these animated roles. Her voice work is the same in every movie. I will admit this one actually is a little different. She has a little bit of a rasp to her voice, a little like Natasha Lyonne maybe to her voice. So I'll give her that. But you can still tell it's Awkwafina. She's done I don't know how many voices in the last just a couple of years. She was in Raya and the Last Dragon. She was in the Little Mermaid movie as a voice, and I think she did one other one too. But I don't know. I'm sick of her, and I like some of her stuff, but a little too much with that. And then Keegan-Michael Key, great. I didn't even know it was him. He's doing a kind of Jamaican accent or whatever, and he's always great. And he's done a lot of voice work too. I mean, he was in Toy Story 4, and he was just in something. Oh, he was in Wonka. That was live action. But he's done a lot of voice work in the last few years as well. always a pleasure to hear here. The voice work actually is pretty good in this. I really liked Elizabeth Banks and Kumail Nanjiani. Danny DeVito's Danny DeVito. He's just doing his thing, and that's fine. But I really like the voice work of Banks and Nanjiani. And I don't hear them too often. I see them in a lot of things, but in terms of voice work, not as much. But they had good chemistry together with the voice acting. I'm sure they probably weren't in the same room doing their parts, but it worked out on the screen. And the biggest highlight of the film for me is the animation and Illumination. I think their animation, it's not bad necessarily. It's just it's got its own lane. Like there is one human in this, and he just looks like every human in Despicable Me. He's got really extended features, and he just looks like the same villain you would see in Despicable Me. So pretty basic. But no, the flying scenes are really cool. And I will say I saw this in 3D, and this is, I don't usually affect my grade from the 3D, but I will say if you decide to see this in a theater, I think 3D actually might be the way to go. I don't recommend 3D hardly ever anymore because I think it's a waste. I think the last 3D movie I saw was Scream 6. Was that the last one that came out? And I just time wise it worked out to see that showing, so I'm like, okay, I'll see the 3D, and it like added nothing. It was stupid, but here the flying sequences in 3D actually look really cool. And harkens back to some of the earlier 3D days of like How to Train Your Dragon. Not certainly not that impressive, but it kind of made me miss 3D a little bit. Good 3D. So I will kind of throw that out there. I don't necessarily think you have to see it in 3D, but if you're gonna see it in the theater anyway and plunk down the bucks, I say pay the extra few dollars for a 3D showing of this. But that being said, I don't think this needs to be seen in the theater. I think you can wait for this to come on to streaming or whatever. It's Universal, so I imagine it will be right. I think Illumination's Universal, yeah. So I imagine it will be on Peacock before too long. But the biggest weakness of this movie is it's just not funny. I mean, there's maybe a couple of moments. I think little kids may find this fun and funny. I enjoyed the plot schematics, and some of the characters are interesting. I like the animation, but I didn't find this funny at all. And it seems like this would have been a strong movie maybe back 10 years ago. With a lot of the animated fare that was coming out at that time. But I don't know. I just feel like maybe we've advanced a little bit since then. With some of the Spider-Verse and Super Mario Brothers, and the new Turtles movie had really interesting things going on. I just feel like this seems like a relic from 10 or 15 years ago of what animation was then. So yeah, overall, this was very, very middling for me, but I have to admit the animation and the flying sequences were very cool, and so for that I do have to give it some credit. But overall, this was not a great movie for me. I leave Migration with a C. All right, thank you for watching Dan Reviews It, and we'll see you next time. Bye.